What's going on, preloaders and V.I.Preloaders?
Oh, nice shirt.
Welcome back to the channel, guys. Always a pleasure to have you guys here with me. And you know this, at least you should. This is Stefan. Stefan is a pilot from Germany, is that correct?
That is correct. Working for one of the best airlines in the world. I'm proud to say that. Based in Germany, but I'm not telling you the name.
That's right. Okay, so first, for all you guys that have never been to this channel before, maybe you just stumbled upon it, let me let you know what's going on here. My name's Robert. I'm a retired NYPD Highway Patrol motorcycle lieutenant. I did a wonderful 22-year career with the NYPD. 15 of those years was spent with the elite NYPD Highway Patrol motorcycle unit. The name of this channel is called Robert Simmons Paying It Forward. And on this channel, I focus primarily on slow speed motorcycle operation because that's the skill that you really need in order to know how to actually ride your motorcycle, all right? When you're the boss of your motorcycle, you know what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. And I want to help you guys with that. I want you to not even think twice about making right turns, left turns, and U-turns, okay? So that's the paying it forward part of this channel. I want to share my knowledge, experience, and training that I received from that unit with the motorcycle community, that being you guys. I also hold practice sessions in a parking lot here in Pooler, Georgia. It's usually on a weekly basis. V.I.Preloaders are allowed to come out and practice with me for free. So if that's something you're interested in, or if you just want more information on what a V.I.Preloader is and what other perks they get, along with coming out and practicing with me for free, hit the join button, which is right next to the subscribe button, all right? And it'll play you a short video explaining everything that you get. Lastly, I also offer private lessons, okay? Go to this email address on the lower part of your screen. All right, there's also going to be a link in the description section. There's a bunch of links in the description section and definitions. Please, when you get a chance, go to the description section, check it out. But if you're interested in coming to practice with me, a private lesson, go to my website, click on where it says private lessons, and follow everything it tells you to do, okay? Now, speaking of slow speed riding, this guy right here actually invented something that it actually makes my slow riding easier, at least on the Harley Davidson, at least on one of these Harley Davidsons. And what I'm referring to is all of the play that's in your throttle. And if you're unfamiliar with it, or if you are familiar with it, but in your mind, that's just normal, not normal anymore. So Stefan has invented a product that's going to actually take care of that. All right, and I'm excited about it because it's a product that's easy to install. It's not ridiculously expensive. All right, and it's not, it's not over complicated. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the install. So what we're going to do is we're going to head into the garage where it's warm. Where it's warmer. We're gonna.
It's warm. That was the German part because it's going to be winter in Germany soon. So let's head over to Germany into my garage and then we can do the install.
No. I got air conditioning in my garage, so we're gonna head into the garage, do this install, and I'm looking forward to seeing the difference and taking it on the ride. All right, let's do it. All right, guys. So remember Stefan from Stefan's Garage. He actually invented a product called the Rattlekiller. Right? Is that correct?
That's correct. Okay,
Rattlekiller. What are we talking about rattling? Let me show you. Now, for me, I always thought this was normal. But this is the throttle on the Harley Davidson motorcycle. And you see how if you pull it in and out, it has all that play, right? And like this as well. Stefan said, no, it shouldn't be like that. So he actually invented the product. Tell us about it.
Even to have it more obvious, this play can be adjusted. Mm-hmm. So we're going to adjust that a little bit by moving the switch housing more to the center.
Okay.
But this play can't be adjusted. You need a Rattlekiller, and especially with those Kahuna grips with the metal parts, it's just annoying.
Yes.
And so therefore, I tried to find a solution.
So now, tell us what a Rattlekiller is exactly.
A Rattlekiller.
And before you tell us that, tell us about this awesome T-shirt you're wearing.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if you know that guy. He's a retired motorcycle cop from New York City, and he instructs people in order to improve their slow riding motorcycle skills. So,
yes.
Preloader Nation, just join Robert Simmons on YouTube.
I've heard of him. Nice guy.
Yeah,
nice guy.
Definitely.
Okay, now this is a Rattlekiller.
That's a Rattlekiller. It's a specially Teflon foil with an adhesive back.
Okay.
Exactly at a secret dimension that it fits underneath the grip. And I have to say that if you're attaching it you have to make sure that the throttle grip is still moving, that you have nice snap back.
Yes.
Because there's a risk. There are so many different kinds of bars and grips, and the Rattlekiller improves most of them, but it's not one size fits all.
Okay.
So you have to make sure when you install it that you don't have any throttle binding. That's your responsibility.
Okay.
So,
all right.
let's start.
And we're doing this today on Violet. Violet's my 2021 Ultra Limited CVO. Violet's getting all the goods. She's getting all the goods.
Yeah, but that's really that's
horrible.
horrible.
That
horrible.
is a lot of play.
Yeah. Okay, let's start. As we have heated grips here on Violet, first we need to disconnect the wire. So I saved my fingernails.
Wow. That was easy.
Remove it. Then I'm using a small pair of pliers in order
Come around here.
to disconnect the heated grips. And just note, it's asymmetrical. So there's only one way. You see it?
Yes.
Only one way to get them in again later. Then we're going to use a T25 to loosen the switch housing. So those two screws, T25.
Okay.
And the lower one as well. Note that we have marked the approximate position of the brake lever position. Position of the position, that's a little bit, well, join my Stefan's Garage English-German lessons and you will be impressed.
Stefan's Garage.
The screws will stay in the rear part of the housing. So now we lay on this one. And unfortunately, on the soft tail models, the newer ones, you're already able to remove the throttle grip. On the touring bikes, you have to loosen the brake lever screws. And that's a T27, very important. I just demonstrated, that's a T25. It pretends to fit, but you will damage the screw. So definitely make sure that you use a T27.
Oh, that's what we got to make sure that's in the same place.
Therefore, we have the tape. Hopefully it works. So now we can lift the front switch housing a little bit and we can remove the grip. Okay, then we need to clean the surface that the adhesive sticks better to the
alcohol
handlebar.
or something? Or?
Yeah, alcohol or parts cleaner. Cleaner here. Did you do an install recently?
I actually did, yeah. And
Just-
the install actually called for parts clean. I didn't even have any. I had a good installer, and he gave me a list of things to purchase, and that was one of them.
Was it the famous guy rating himself an 11 in slow speed motorcycle skills?
Yeah, I can't wait to see this guy slow speeds.
Me too. So now everything is clean. Let's get back to the serious stuff. We want to make sure, I just demonstrated, that's just rubbish. Make sure that you're not covering those little grooves, because then it's just 1/10 of an inch or 100th of an inch, but then you might get throttle binding. So don't glue them over here,
Yes.
just here on the inside.
Okay.
The size is tailored for the Harley Davidson electronic throttle grip. So, and then we start here and we make sure that we don't have any air trapped inside, so that's everything nice and smooth.
And you made these.
I made these. I discovered the material and I'm cutting them to the correct size.
Wow.
So that's handmade. Now the important part. Right from the beginning, just make sure that you have easy throttle movement. Yeah, looking good. And then align the bar and shield. Are they aligned?
Yes.
Okay. Make sure that you have, especially from small throttle positions, that you have perfect snapback. So this one is perfect. Stock Harley bar, Kahuna grips, works perfect. And then we're just going to loosely fit the switch housing. And you notice right away, this play is already less. So, make sure that both screws are threaded in well. Is that the correct? No.
Yep.
And then here we have our markings. And now we're going to push the switch housing a little bit to the center of the motorcycle to eliminate. That's crazy. That's too much. Yeah? Oh no, might be. So you have to make sure when pushing it to the inside that you don't get throttle binding because of the switch housing. So a little bit of play should still be there.
But not excessive like it was.
No. Just, it's not the final torque, just to prevent it from moving and to double check. Okay, that's good. Then lower one. So final tightening it.
There you go.
Yeah, my German gets it better. You always start with the top one because you want to minimize this gap.
Okay.
If you start with the lower one, then you will have a gap, which is just not necessary. And then we're switching back onto the T27. Same here, we start with the top one to have a very small gap. And then, as this one is right with just a little play, we're going to push the switch housing and the brake lever assembly together, that we have a very small gap in here. And we check the position, remove the tape that it's not trapped inside, and tighten the top one and the lower one. So the position is not changed. Robert should be fine. Just making sure that he don't has an excuse for his deteriorating slow speed skills.
That's right. Although that side of the motorcycle was rarely used during that, because that's where the front brake is.
Yeah, okay. Shall I do the 10 push-ups right now? Or?
No, you're good.
Okay, and then the important thing. Do we have a light to see? Yeah, you will see it. So asymmetric, so you have to make sure that you have the right direction, and those connectors are very tiny. So take your time. You can feel it when it's right. Come on, Violet.
Violet doesn't like strange men sticking things inside of her.
We're gonna edit that out.
No, that stays in.
Yeah. Now,
There we go.
and you definitely feel it. So just use a very little force that you're not damaging the threads. And before you reattach this one, we turn it on, turn the heated grips on, and see if they are getting
they
warm.
get hot.
Robert, you want to try it?
Sure.
So that's
Oh
normal.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Wow. Let me do it from this side. That's a huge difference. And when I get outside, I'm going to put it next to one of the other motorcycles,
Blaze.
just so you could just see the difference.
Blaze has the same kind of grips.
Yep, Blaze and Valiant.
You're right.
Absolutely, good job. And guys, this is like, he came up with this. How awesome is that? Wow.
So, and I'm pretty positive that the heater grips will work. So, let's just finish it. On some grips, they are orientated, so you have certain grooves which you want to observe.
Yeah.
On the Kahunas, it's just getting it together.
Yes, absolutely.
So the Rattlekiller, normally not sold in the United States because I still haven't figured out how to get those things over here. I have shipped already a couple of pairs. You pay via PayPal in euros. It's 22 euros for a set of 2.
Okay.
Because it's likely that you mess up a Rattlekiller when you're trying this by yourself. And if you have everything apart and you're here with a messed up Rattlekiller, you will think, I'm gonna leave it as it is, and therefore you got a backup. So you can use the backup for a friend if you don't need it.
Okay.
But that's the way. I don't want to have people stalling with a project and then having their motorcycle torn apart and not getting finished. So it's always 2 per shipping. And
how much is that in dollars?
Around 25.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's not bad at all.
That includes shipping.
That includes shipping.
Yeah.
Okay.
The packaging is pretty simple, and if you get it and it's damaged, just give me a call and you get a replacement.
Okay.
So I don't want to waste money on packaging and shipping. Normally they stay in good shape, and if not, just let me know.
Okay.
You get information on Instagram, Stefan's, one word with an F _. You can put a link in the video description.
There'll be a link, guys. There's going to be a link in the description. Okay, so if they want to order it, they order it through Instagram. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, Instagram or an email. It's info@stefans-garage.com.
Okay.
I got a .com email, so I'm really lucky.
All right.
And just send me your address, send me your type of motorcycle, your type of bars and grips, because I already have, they're getting really hot. I already have a couple of combinations that don't work, and I don't want to sell any Rattlekillers to people with known issues. So there are certain kinds of bars, aftermarket bars, where the thickness is not correct, but those guys probably don't have that problem.
Yeah.
And just motorcycle, make is Harley, model and year, type of bars, type of grips, and your address.
Okay. Thanks, Stefan.
Thank you.
All right, guys. So yeah, definitely. This is wow. Yeah, and you're right. They are warm now. This is a huge difference. Now, this is one of those things where if I didn't know about it, it wouldn't bother me. Once he brought it to my attention, now it's at the point where I have to have it. So definitely look into this. Check the description section. I'm gonna put a link in there. I'm also gonna put a link for his Instagram. It's on the screen as well. Yes, absolutely. Wow. So now I can't wait to ride this and actually feel this. And now I have to see, that's the one disadvantage to having 4 motorcycles, because now I have to change this.
Oh, poor guy. Poor guy. Come on.
I have to change this on the other 3, but you can see it's not a difficult install at all. Just take your time when you're putting that self-adhesive stuff down, and make sure you don't cover up what he said. All right. Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
You're welcome, guy. And Stefan, the man who solves problem, nobody knew that they exist.
That's right. Wow. All right, guys. So I got all the ladies out here lined up. I want to show you the difference. Of course, now I'm really going to see it between the motorcycles that I have that don't have the Rattlekiller on them and Violet that does. So again, just to remind you, okay, that's Violet. You're always going to have a little bit of play, right? But it's not excessive, right? It feels solid. It feels like it's on a $50,000 motorcycle, right? Okay. Let's go over to Blaze. Ooh. Look at that. Like, see what I mean? When I twist it, you see how it's moving? See all that play right there? By twisting it? Versus that? I mean, wow. It's comical, right? And let's go over to Valiant, because again, we're going to have the same problem, of course, because this is how, actually, it feels worse on Valiant. Now Valiant has more miles than the other one, so maybe that's it. You know? Okay, I mean, now I'm gonna go to the Road King too. And I think, Stefan, you told me that if it's plastic, if you change your, what'd you say, if you change the handlebar, look at that, oh my God.
Yeah, but on the stock plastic grip, it's not that annoying. Well, it is from our perspective, but as the grip is pretty light, you don't feel it that much. But if you change to aftermarket grips or Harley Davidson grips with a metal content, especially full aluminum ones, it's going to be, in my opinion, horrible. That's why I invented the Rattlekiller.
Yeah, absolutely. This is, I mean, wow, it's really bad on this one. All right.
You're going to change that?
Yes, definitely going to change it. So we're going to change the ones that are on the CVOs. That's it. All right. All right, guys, we just got back from the ride, and let me tell you guys, this Rattlekiller, again, something that I felt was so insignificant. It didn't even occur to me, and I never paid attention to it, but it's so relevant. So, all right, let me say this. I know I was talking about the throttle moving back and forth like this, but the other play was when you actually roll the throttle, right? And I felt like with my motorcycles, especially Violet, if I rolled it 1/4 of an inch, I still wasn't in the throttle yet. Like, that's how much play it had. So when I'm doing slow speed maneuvers, especially pulling out here from in front of my house, most times I would pull it and I feel like I should be in the throttle, and I still wasn't. So then I'd have to pull it more, which means now my wrist is like this, and it shouldn't be, right? Seems like it's not a big deal, but it is, and it could be. So, and it's something you shouldn't have to deal with, especially when you spend thousands of dollars on a motorcycle. And for some reason, this guy right here decided, you know what, this is ridiculous. I'm going to do something about it. And he did. And simplistically, at least that's the way it seems to me. And I know he's a bright guy. He's a pilot. He's got to be a bright guy. I don't know any dumb pilots. I don't know any pilots personally, except for Sandy. I don't know him personally either. But the bottom line is this product is awesome. I highly recommend it. So if you guys, I want you to do this, because this is another one of those things where you kind of have to experience it to see what I'm talking about. So go out to your motorcycle, see how much play you have in your throttle, both ways, rolling it and pushing it back and forth. And it's ridiculous. It shouldn't be that way. And I wish I can have you come here and experience this. If you're coming out here to practice with me, of course, I'll let you touch it, because here's the other thing. He installed this on all 3 of my CVOs. So Violet has a Rattlekiller, Blaze has a Rattlekiller, Valiant has a Rattlekiller. And he did these installations in less than 30 minutes. So it's a simplistic product. It does the job. It's easy to install, and it is $25. Is that correct?
That is correct, for a copy of 2, because I don't want, as I mentioned before, anybody stalling with the project. So if you mess up one during the install, then you got a spare one. Normally you don't need it, and you can check it in our video or in your video, or on Easygrip Rattlekiller. I don't know my own name of the video. So I put an install video on YouTube, German and English, where you can see the detailed install on a heated grip. So the non-heated grips are much easier, and so you can see whether you are capable of doing it, and normally you should be.
Yes,
I would say.
So again, guys, so what we're gonna do here is, if you guys are interested in this for your motorcycle, you want to install on your motorcycle, Stefan's given me a bunch of them so that I can provide it to you guys. Again, it's $25. If you're interested, email address is on the right-hand corner of the screen. Check that out. Send me an email and we'll work that out. I'll get them out to you. But I definitely want you guys to have this. If I see something good, you know I want to share it with you. I want you guys to experience it. So here it is. And again, guys, that's $25, and it's a set of 2. So you're going to get 2 Rattlekillers. And as Stefan stated, he wants to make sure, and again, this is what I'm talking about. The guy's just always thinking. You might screw up that first one, and you don't want to have all that stuff taken apart, and then you go that and you screw it up, and now it's like, what do I do? So that's what the second one's for, all right? You get a mulligan. The second one's a mulligan, all right? So that's awesome. Good thinking. Forward thinking. Love it, love it, love it. All right, guys? All right, that's going to do it for me. Awesome, awesome time here. Again, I want to thank Stefan for coming out here and just spending time with me, going on the ride with me, providing me with the Rattlekillers, and being able to provide you guys with it as well. All right, so again, love you guys. Always appreciate you. Again, I know there's anything you could be doing with your time, and the fact that you choose to spend a little bit of it with me, always appreciate it. Spend more time, guys, being thankful for the things that you have, and less time complaining about the things that you don't. I want to acknowledge my brothers and sisters in blue. Please be careful out there, guys. Know that you're appreciated. Special shout out to the NYPD Highway Patrol Motorcycle Unit. particularly Highway 1 because that's where I worked, and the Highway District because that's where the motorcycle school is. That's where I learned how to ride these motorcycles the way I do. But I can assure you guys, I'm much better now than I was when I graduated wheel school, because this is a perishable skill. You have to keep at it. You have to keep practicing. So again, guys, this is not a cliche. When I say it, I mean it. Please practice, 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 practice with the proper mindset, staying positive. Practice, practice, practice. Preload and keep it loaded. And practice, 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 guys, because practice breeds confidence. And a confident rider is not only a safer rider and not only a boss, but a rider that's going to enjoy riding their motorcycle that much more. I guarantee it, guys. All right? All right, guys, until next time.